Let's try this again. Hi, I'm Mahmoud, and I am a music producer, musician, and general music fan from Switzerland. And before we start this whole rant, let's get it out of the way. I am just as culpable for the things I'm going to be ranting about as the next guy. I own a bunch of cabs, I own multiple IR packs, and with that out of the way, let's get down to what this video is about. I made some notes, and the first statement that I want to rant about is gear is not important, it's all in the fingers. That statement is, in my humble opinion, bullshit. Let me elaborate. Yes, your playing is the most important aspect when it comes down to it, but would you rather play through a $10,000 rig with all the bells and whistles that make a great sounding tone, or through your granddad's old radio that happens to have a jack input? If tone was only in the fingers, like they try to tell you, no one would use their preferred combination of guitars, amps, pedals, cabs, mics, because otherwise my plastic acoustic guitar in the hands of James Hetfield would be enough to chug. As you probably figured out for yourself in the first few months of playing, that is not the case. Like, at all. But also, anyone telling you gear is everything is missing the point just as much. If you have somewhat decent gear that people you look up to already use successfully and you still aren't happy, that's more than likely your fault. You need to actually know your gear as well as keep your equipment in good shape. If your guitar has 5-year-old strings on it and your 5150 is making a crackling sound every time you look at it weirdly, you need to get that sorted. No surprise here that your tone sucks. Now, alright, here's what actually triggered this video. GGD and their crew with Francesco Filigoi and more people from the metal and production community that we all love just released a new IR plugin. This isn't about their tones or their business as a whole at all, because for all I know, that shit is probably amazing. The following rant is not aimed at them or the guys surrounding Get Good Drums, Nolly, or any of the people, but the people that blindly buy their 15th IR pack in the hopes of fundamentally changing their guitar sound. Here goes. That IR plugin, I just looked it up, by GGD costs $42 as the intro price. I think it's going up after. It's probably worth the money if this is your first IR pack. But if this is your 4th, 5th, or 20th pack, why are you spending that money? That is so insane to me. Paying that much money for another IR pack just wouldn't ever cross my mind. And I learned my lesson. I did buy a fair few of them. Let's say you actually do buy the pack and it consists of 50 IRs. And let's even say all of them are 100% usable. They are all objectively great. How many are you actually going to end up using? 3? 4? 5 maybe? Because the other ones subjectively don't do it for you. Now you ended up shelling out that much money for 3 potentially new sounds. Chances are that those few sounds you love out of that package sound just like that tone you already had achieved with your old IR, and that's why you love them too. Not like your taste suddenly changed, right? If you already love a Mesa cab with a V30 mic'd with a 57, 421, and a 121, that's already what you use. What makes you think that this combo now suddenly sounds different in this IR pack? Here's my point. Some of our favorite producers and tracking engineers of the last 40 years have been using the same 57s on their 3 or 4 best cabs and the one best speaker in each cab for decades. What exactly are we chasing here? If those sounds have stood the test of time, why are we looking for hundreds of variations on the same damn sound? Nothing is going to fundamentally change about the guitar by changing your sound every minute, especially not in a mix. Most listeners will not care about speaker's choice and all that as long as it sounds good. And guess what? Your gear has already passed that bar easily. Yes, the fundamentals of a great guitar sound start with a good cab, but absolutely no one needs 2,000 different IRs. I have been there. I have my fair share of IR packs, like I mentioned. They all sound the same in the end because it's me choosing and playing. Here's when you absolutely should invest in gear. Better gear, and by that I mean gear that objectively is of higher quality than what you own currently, is probably worth it. And just as important, gear that is better suited to your intentions will make you play better. 100%. If you're trying to get a distortion sound like John Petrucci and you aren't using the right gear, you'll probably never get there. Another example. If you want to sound like a Swedish death metal guitarist, you'll probably need an HM2 pedal or a clone of it at some point. That you will want to invest in. But not your 15th version of a 57 on a V30 or a 421 on a Marshall. Invest your time in your own skills and learn your gear properly. And then put the money where it's needed, when it's needed. Great gear will make you express yourself better. That is a worthwhile investment. You just have to make sure that what you're investing in is actually doing that, because otherwise you'll end up unhappy within 5 minutes and just trying to justify your next useless purchase. All right, enough with the rant. Let me know your worst purchase in the comments. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Like and subscribe and all that, and bye-bye.